Hey there, Tara Moore here from Healing Adventures. Happy Friday! I just got done having an amazing session and I wanted to get on here and talk about perspective. I wanted to talk about things that we see are not necessarily what we see. And this came up a bit in this session, you know, when we're really looking at perspective and one's individual view. And the example I want to share an example from my own life, which was really an aha moment for me yesterday, like literally an aha moment. So over the last week, I would come out to my yard and I would notice there were some things in my yard, trash. So things like plum pits, shriveled up plums, then cigarette butts, which I don't smoke, plastic bottles, sponges, like sponges that you do your dishes with. Oh, and then a lighter. So over the course of the week, I would keep walking out and there'd be new things littered in my backyard on one side of the fence. So what immediately came up for me is I have this neighbor who they used to put on these very loud karaoke parties, very loud. And it's one thing to have a party. I'm totally cool with parties on a Friday or Saturday night. I'm a mom, I work, I have a child. We like to sleep on the weekdays. So they would have their parties on, say, Mondays and Wednesday nights. They'd roughly start the karaoke music about 9:30 at night, and then they would prolong the party till at least 1 a.m. So it got to the point to where, and literally their backyard door is not even 20 feet from my window, so it's pretty close. And it would just be loud, so loud. So I tried to be cool, like, hey, texting, like, hey, can you turn the party down, you know? Then the parties would continue. So then I was like, okay, now I'm gonna call, yo, the party, you know? And so then I found out that other neighbors, my neighbor behind me, my neighbor on the other side of this neighbor, also getting annoyed by these parties. So I think enough of us had said enough information that it was like, okay, they stopped doing the parties, which is great. So that was about 4 or 5 months ago. So this week I start coming out and I'm noticing trash in my yard. And in an instant, my hair raises on my back and I'm just like, why are they throwing trash in my yard? Why? And it's like random things coming over my yard. And so instantly I get triggered. And how I get triggered, really what I'm trying to bring up here is programming and our thought processes, and when we don't have the full story, okay? When we are instantly triggered, we immediately go into whatever programming we have in here from whatever our past is, whatever our life is, whatever we believe. The programming, that program just kicks in and goes into high gear. Okay, so I come out here and I keep seeing trash, and now I'm getting pissed. And I'm looking down like, what the F? Like, why are they throwing trash in my yard? Excuse me, yes, I'm gonna say what the F, you know, like, why are they throwing trash in my yard? And so immediately I'm like, okay, I need to call the cops. No, I need to just like pick all the trash up and take it next door and be like, I think you forgot something. You know, I was thinking all these things, and all the while I'm just fuming inside and getting angry and more angry and more angry. And I'm like, this is a damn hate crime. You know, I was getting really pissed off. And my inner voice is just raging. And when I could see the trigger, because I came out, what was it, 2 days ago? 2 days ago, I come out and the trigger is just raging within me. And I had a moment and I heard myself, stop, you're triggered. Why are you triggered? What can you do in this moment? So I took a deep breath and I just breathed into the entire situation and I said, okay, there's something going on here. And I'm only seeing it from my perspective and my view. I have no idea what is going on in these people's world. So I'm just gonna send love and light, but for whatever reason, they are pissed off at me and I don't know what I've done. So then I reach out to my Reiki group and I'm like, hey, and I tell them the situation. I'm like, hey, can you just shower them with love and light, please? Help me shower the love and light. And they do. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let that go on to the next day, which was yesterday. I come home, there's new trash in my yard. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm pissed. So I think about, well, what can I do? I need a paper trail because I find this lighter, cigarette butts. I'm like, wait, are they trying to catch my house on fire? Like, what is going on? And I can hear the chatter in my voice, in my head. It's just creating this massive, massive story. I'm gonna go tell the other neighbors. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna call 911. And I'm just thinking all these things. And so I did call the non-emergency number, and I was like, what can I do in this situation? Because this is happening, I need to know. And they gave me the steps of what I could do. But all the while that I was on the phone with them, I could hear my inner voice saying, just call your neighbor. Call your neighbor and ask him what's going on. Find out what's going on. Now, in my past, I would have never done that because there's constriction in my voice. And I wouldn't have done that because I would have thought, I don't want to confront anybody. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to make I don't want to confront the situation. I'd rather just blow the situation up with my own personal thoughts and my own story about it, right? That's like the perfect human way to go. But I listened and I stopped and I took a breath and I said, I'm going to call and I'm going to find out what's really going on here. So as the phone was ringing, I took a deep breath and I just pushed out love because I knew I could feel my body constricting, like what's gonna happen when they answer the phone? Holy crap, what's gonna happen? So I just allowed myself to burst out this love vibration and they answered. So my neighbor answers and I was like, hey, this is Tara, your neighbor. I've been noticing that there's been trash in my yard. And I went on to tell him the story and he said, oh no. I'm so sorry. Can you tell me what's being thrown over? So I began to tell him and he said, I'm so sorry. I have a brother who's here staying with me and he's not right in the head. He has mental health issues and he's not all there. And I'm so sorry. And I will call my mother right now and let her know because the mother also lives with this couple. They're really a nice couple actually. And he said, and I will personally come over and clean up all the trash in your yard. And I said, no, I'll do it. But I just want to say in that moment, poof, like the universe shifted, right? And I got to see how the human experience, the human condition is so prone to kick in when it's triggered. It will go on a rampage, create a story. And the story was not even what was so. So what I perceived to see, my perspective, created this whole story. But what the truth was another story. Now, had I not taken the time to listen to my body, to listen to that trigger and slow down, pull back and say, hold the phone, I need to really think about what my next action is. Is it coming from fear? Is it coming from hatred? Is it coming from a scattered thought form, a scattered mind? Or am I coming from love? And I really asked myself, what do you want? I want to come from love. Because if I step into this new world, this new realm, especially with all these shifting consciousnesses that we've got going on, with this new earth that's arising, with all of this planetary energy that's happening right now, with all of this shifting energy, do I want to step into love right now? Or do I want to step into I'm just going to lose my shit and freak out? I stepped into love, and what I learned is a whole new perspective. What I learned is that what I perceive is not always what's so. So my question to all of you is, how often in your life do you have it that you know what other people are thinking, that you have it that you know what's going on over there? Like maybe you send, I'll use another example, you send an email to somebody and they never respond. Or maybe you send a post to somebody on Facebook and they never respond. What do you do when they don't respond? You immediately kick into gear, and the programming from the past, the programming from everything that we've been taught to believe kicks into gear and creates a story. That's how powerful the mind is. And inside of that story, you begin to run off with actions. Like, had I gone to the neighbors 2 doors down, and had I called the cops, and had I done all this stuff, I would have created even more of a mess, more drama that didn't even need to occur. And today I came out to my yard, there's no trash. None at all. But what the lesson was for me was to really get the power of the mind. And I've already known, like, I know our minds are so flippin' powerful. I mean, there is so much that goes on in here that is like, whew, it's powerful. But there I was thinking, this is a hate crime, this is that, they're mad at me, what have I done? And my neighbor was like, gosh, if I was mad at you, you would know. And I was like, thank you so much. But I'm just glad that I took the time to really check in with my trigger. Check in with my trigger and ask, what do I need to do in this moment? Because right now I'm just triggered. And I stepped into love and I found out that what I was believing wasn't anywhere near the truth. So I ask all of you, when does that happen in your life, or does it happen in your life? And this beautiful woman that I was working with today had an incredible session, similar scenarios, where a lot of her questions were around relationship and family, marriage, career. We have these perceptions, these perspectives that we think are reality, and often we are not courageous enough to step into love. Often we're not courageous enough to just ask the other person that we're upset with or that we feel there might be a confrontation. Like, let's just check in and find out what's happening in your world. Is everything okay? I've noticed whatever I've noticed, but is everything okay with you over there? Because I'm over here having this thought, this form, whatever. So I just wanted to share that with you today. It was a big, I don't want to say this is not stuff I didn't already know. This is stuff that I know. But what it was just that one of those lessons that just bam hit me. Like, do you see how quickly, Tara, you go into action? See how quickly that fight or flight, that reptilian brain just kicks into gear. And the mastery is in when the reptilian brain kicks into gear, goes into fight or flight, the mastery is catching it, right? Recognizing, ooh, I'm there. And when we recognize it, how powerful that is inside of relationship, how powerful that is inside of your communication, when you can catch yourself in the moment, recognizing that the human self is just in fight or flight. But what is the spirit self saying? What does the spirit self really want? I think the spirit self at all times just wants love, wants peace, wants harmony, wants, compatibility, wants ease. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. It was something that came up. It came up inside of my session today too. We got to look at these different perspectives and how when we get set in our way and we're really triggered, we just have it that what's happening in here, all these thought forms, is the truth. And I'm here to say it's not the truth. Not at all. Now, sometimes it is, but unless we've checked in with the other party, we don't know what truth is. And that, not to discredit what you're feeling. I'm not saying that it didn't piss me off to see trash in my yard. It absolutely did. But am I going to run with that emotion, or am I going to get to the bottom of whatever it is happening? So I invite all of you, take a look for yourself. I just wanted to share that. I thought it was really interesting. And it was a huge breakthrough for me to step into my power and step into my voice and not be afraid to confront a situation, because I could have been very passive about it and really shitty and nasty, and I chose not to do that. I chose to just say, I'm going to bring love to this entire thing, and I'm going to cool my heels, and I'm going to get to the bottom of whatever's going on. And once I learned what the truth was, it allowed me to send so much more love over there, so much more love. And all the while I was on the phone with my neighbor, his brother was out there milling about in the yard, and I thought, I can now have compassion and also be proud of the fact that I caught myself in a moment, in a trigger. So triggers are real. Triggers happen. I don't think triggers are ever going to go away, but it's a great opportunity for us to really, especially inside of romance, romantic relationships, marriages, or even at work. Oh my God, in career space, woo, do we get triggered? It's an opportunity to take a look at, what are my triggers? What did just get triggered? Why am I triggered? And who do I want to be inside of that space? Do I want to run with that reptilian brain and just fight or flight, freeze, fight or flight? Like, what do I want to do? Or do I want to just breathe in and figure out, where can I bring love to this circumstance or situation? So I'll leave y'all with that. I would love to hear your comments. Again, my name is Tara Moore with Healing Adventures. I am a hypnotherapist and life coach. I'd love to hear any of your comments down below. I'm also a Reiki practitioner. But I just wanted to get on here and share that because it was just this amazing moment. And I just thought, wow, you know, how powerful. And I saw it come up again in my session today with my client. It's just like how powerful when we can take a step back and really look at our triggers and really sort out, you know, is this the truth? Is this the whole truth? Not always. A lot of what we see is not the truth at all. So we really have to look and dissect the circumstance. But sending all of you lots of love. Subscribe to my channel and go ahead, put a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this particular comment or share, or, you know, tell me, just does this happen to you? And I'd love to talk to you a little bit more. But I hope you have a great day, have a magical weekend, and take care.